Good day, good day, good day, everyone. How you doing? This is your boy, Tunde the Beast Tokenbo, and we're back with the Unleashed podcast. Something I love doing is talking, and I love talking to people. So here I am with my first guest from hiatus. It is Miss Jo Davies. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, Tunde. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great.
Good.
Just to let everybody know, we're here talking about fitness over a certain age, both in males and females. And particularly, Joe brought up actually the fact that women going through menopause might have a bit of a struggle with keeping a healthy lifestyle, both again in the gym, out of the gym, and so forth. So we're going to kind of have a conversation about that and see where this can take us. Because again, we both like to talk, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. All right.
We're going to talk. Yes,
Um,
indeed.
so, for those who don't know, I do some online personal training, wellness coaching, and so forth. And Joe is one of my newest clients. And I guess I was kind of enlightening her on things that she uh, didn't know, but as well as was excited to know. I guess can we say
Yeah,
that?
very
Excited to
much.
know?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I was excited to know. Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So she's been doing this whole fitness thing for a while. I mean, give us your rundown of your fitness journey now, if you could.
Okay. Well, I did nothing for many, many years. I mean, I I used to joke that I was just getting rid of the baby weight. Well, my babies are now 25 and 20, so I think I can't use that excuse anymore. But as I was turning 50, I thought I need to do something. I don't want to turn 50 and feel and look not great in my estimation anyway. So I am almost 56 in September. So I've been doing this for almost 7 years, and it's been a real education. I think what I was looking for though was somebody to help focus my efforts, because in the past while I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm not really making, I lose the pound or pound or two, and then I gain it back, and then I lose it and I gain it back. So that's, obviously that's not the way to go. I did keto for a while and lost almost 40 pounds, but that's not a long-term solution, I've been told. So that's why I came to you and hoped for some assistance.
And I am very, very happy to assist you. The first thing I guess we were talking about was the diet,
Right.
how keto was a short-term kind of fire starter, kickstarter for you, and
Mhm.
that it shouldn't be really used long term. It's
Right.
almost it's almost like a Jedi mind trick because you're doing it, but
Right.
you're not really getting all that you should be getting from a diet. I
Mm.
mean, a diet shouldn't be a diet. Like when it comes to healthy living and healthy lifestyle, it should be a lifestyle change. So it should be a
Right.
short period of time. That's why the keto diet is supposed to be short term, like any
Mhm.
other type of diets out there. When they say the
Mhm.
word diet, it's only for a short period of time. Changing the lifestyle is a totally different thing.
Yes,
So
exactly. Yeah.
when it came to breaking down your current eating habits, you did explain to us, or explain to me, I should say, that you're eating a certain amount of calories, right?
Right.
And the generic thing is, you have these calories that you used to eat, bring it down a notch, and you should be fine.
Mhm.
That's that's true, but it's not
It's
all
more
true because
complicated than that.
exactly, exactly. And the science proves that, right? You have to
Right.
make sure you have those macros. You got the proteins, you've got the healthy fats, and you have the carbs. And
Mhm.
depending on how you're trying to lose weight or maintain weight, is how those numbers will guide you to the success you're looking for. And this is what
Mhm.
I kind of broke down with you when I spoke with you about
Right.
the food. A lot of people tend to just eat or not eat enough. That's another thing. Some people don't eat enough. So when it comes to that, your body sits in a state of starvation
Right.
and will continue to hold the excess body weight, mostly fat, so it knows so it can maintain lifestyle without eating
Oh, yeah,
for a long
completely. I
period of
mean,
time.
I remember watching my mom in the 70s before this really people really understood, and she would eat less and less and less and be frustrated. I knew because she told me, she said, "I'm eating almost nothing, and
Mhm.
I'm still not losing weight." Because at
Mhm.
first it was great. You cut back and you lose a whack of weight at the beginning. And then, so she was eating like cottage cheese and lettuce leaves and almost nothing. It was like a starvation diet. But she said, I'm not losing any weight. So it was like, oh man. But that was before we understood what the body does in
Right,
lack of food, what it
right.
does.
And a lot of people still don't understand. They thinking if they don't eat, body and you work out, body will just no. The body's
No,
gonna body's going to react in a way in a survival mode, pretty much.
right.
Because again, that's how we were pretty much created for survival.
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
without all the flash cars and fast food joints and so forth, back in the day, you'd have to hunt for your food. So
Mm.
during that time, if you couldn't find any food in your trials of hunting out there, you had to kind of maintain with what you have. And again, your body will shift gears and say, hey, you know what? Not eating as much. Let's try to slow down our metabolism, keep what we have here so we can have last the winter,
Right.
last the drought, whatever. So that's what our bodies are kind of made to do. So a lot of people are using that.
Frustratingly so. Frustratingly so, yes.
Yes, yes. So that's why uh, putting the right food in is one thing, but knowing how it works is definitely a bonus for you.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
now, you stated now you're going through a time where, again, a lot of women struggle with keeping up with a healthy lifestyle, with menopause and so forth.
Right.
Uh, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to menopause and keeping a healthy lifestyle?
Well, like I had said to you before, I think for me right now, I'm at a point of life. I have the luxury of just going to the gym whenever I want to. I mean, I'm still working full time, but generally, apart from that, I can go whenever I want to because I don't have childcare to worry about. Um, but for me, I really I struggle with eating. And I have used a couple of different apps in the past to track my calories or points, whatever you want to call it. And it feels like that's just sort of just part of the puzzle. It doesn't feel like the whole thing because it's like
Mhm.
if it was, because I remember thinking this was horrible. I just shudder to think. But I had so many points every day. And so some of those points I would use to have like little Halloween sized chocolate bars. I'm like, well, I'm still within my points. But it's like, yeah, but you got to look at the quality of what it is you're eating. And I wasn't doing that. I was just saying, okay, well, I didn't go over my point total. So I must be good. But why am I not losing weight?
Right,
And
right.
yeah, that got really frustrating really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
So,
That
yeah.
that definitely is the tricky part. Definitely, because again, people are fooled by numbers,
Yeah,
especially when they don't understand the numbers, right? So,
right,
yes,
exactly.
you're eating, 400 calories in this meal, but it's a double Big Mac with fries and a large drink. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not the healthiest. And again, I'll put my hand up. I've been in that spot where, at least I'm eating. No, no, you're not eating the right thing. So again,
right.
you're throwing yourself back to
You are.
where you don't want to be. So
Yeah,
that's definitely
exactly.
a huge
And
thing.
never mind just about the weight. The fact is then that you're undermining your heart health and
Mhm,
your like so many other parts of your body are getting ruined by
mhm.
not eating optimally. So,
Correct, correct. And this is why a lot of I've actually turned to I guess companies such as HelloFresh, Chef's
mm,
Plate, and so forth. That again, with me when I had a busy schedule, it was easy to get them to give me the food that I needed to make a healthy meal for myself and
right,
my daughter and so forth. So those do help, as well as going to the grocery store and actually planning out what you're going to eat. Again, planning and healthy living is definitely key. So,
mm,
it's all right to have a steak dinner, or, mashed potatoes and so forth, as long as you have them in the right amount, right?
right.
You don't have to do it every day, right?
No. I think
I
though
was
that a lot of people have it in their heads that carbs, like, because all they hear sugar is carbs, 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 rice, pasta, potatoes. Oh, that's like the devil's food. You cannot
Mhm,
be having that. And that's
mhm,
sort of the mindset that I've had is like, oh, you can't eat that food and still lose weight. There's no way. But I guess it's like my dad used to say, everything in moderation. I mean,
Of course, of
yeah.
course, 100%, 100%. Now, with that being said, um, what when you have time, like you said, to go to the gym and go, do you ever get intimidated when you go to the gym, or when you first started? Were you
Oh
intimidated about the
God.
machines?
I was terrified. I didn't even want to walk out onto the floor.
Mm,
I am lucky enough to go to a very big gym. It's like 3 floors,
mhm,
and it's very nice. But I had somebody give me a tour, and I was just gobsmacked at how many things there that were there, and I thought, "There's no way." And I also felt like I put that on myself. I thought, "Look at all these people." And albeit it's at a university, so yes, there are probably proportionately more young people in their
mhm.
teens and upper teens and 20s there than would be maybe at another gym out in the public. But
Mhm.
I was just like, they're going to make fun of me. I'm like 50 years old. They're going to look at this fat old lady and they're going to just go, loser. And I'm never going to get through. Oh, no, I can't do this. And it took a long while. It took me forcing myself to go, you're okay. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody
Mhm.
cares. Are you looking at I had to go through, like, I would talk to my boys. It's like, is anybody looking at you? No one. Are you looking at anyone else? And it's true. Like, you aren't worried about them, so why would they be worried about you? And I found a lot of people, ironically, were very helpful and very willing. Like, I would say, I remember one guy, I'm like, how do I? And he's like, oh, here, let me show you. No problem at all. They just were, and a lot of people would just say, oh, good for you for coming out. Good for you just to be here. And I'm like, oh, okay. That wasn't what I expected at all. I expected people to be very elitist and very like, oh, look at you. And they have huge muscles and they know what they're doing and they're grunting and groaning. No, not at all.
Yeah,
No.
the I guess the stigma of the gym has definitely changed from the muscle bound monsters and the super slim supermodels to just a open place to just feel good about yourself. Because a lot of people don't really go to the gym per se for the fitness. A lot of it's for the mental health. A
Yeah.
lot of it is for to just not be stagnant at home. Some people are retired and they just need something to do. And I think a great idea I saw that people were doing, that the malls were doing, was opening their doors early so people can walk because they
Mall
didn't have a
walking. Yeah.
gym. So
Yep.
mall walking is a big thing, and I've seen that, and I'm like, wow, good for you. Now they go even further now, and people will just go to the gym, jump on a treadmill or a bike, and continue just go and just go and just go, and
Mhm.
they'll be there maybe for 20 minutes, maybe for a half an hour, maybe even for an hour, but that's their escape. That's their
Right.
getaway from things
Right.
that's going on in their world. So I think the world has changed from the judgy to, hey, keep on coming. We
Mhm.
want you here. So
Yes.
that's
That's
great.
exactly it. Yeah.
Now, there are a few that tend to take working out uh, too seriously, and they would be annoyed because you'd be sitting on a machine that you don't know how to use, and they're wanting to use it, and they're just like, oh. And these are the folks that have those TikToks and pages that just degrade people because they're not doing things right or they're not
Right.
professionals. But hey, not everybody's at that same level, right?
No. No,
Uh,
for sure
you
not.
know, my level of expertise is not as good as the person who's been training for 35 years and
Mm.
knows everything about everything. No,
Mhm.
I know what I know. I'm going to use what I know and continue. Now, the gyms are great. I stepped away from the gyms just because of the the mass amount of people that were going. So there's times when I've tried to go to the gym and there's a ton of people there. Now I didn't have the luxury of a 3 or 4 story, gym. I was going through the local gyms around here, mostly the very low end machine type gyms like a Planet Fitness or Fit for Less and so forth. And I
Mhm.
realized because they're so uh, uh, easy to pay for, the cost is so easy that there's so much people there,
Oh, for
and some of
sure.
the people are just there because of being there. Like I said, some people don't want to work out. Some people just want to get out of their house,
Mhm.
and that's a place that they feel safe.
Mhm.
And that frustrated me because I was like, I would like to work out, but you're
Mhm.
here on your phone,
Yeah.
doing
Going
whatever, or you're having a phone call, or you're just taking pictures. I'm like, are you done? And they said, I'll be almost done. I'm like, okay, never mind. So I ended up buying a few things for my house and started to work out at home.
Mhm.
All I need, and again, working out is not difficult. You don't need much. I have a set of dumbbells, I have a workout bench, I have an exercise bike. If I had
Mhm.
if I had the funds, I'd get a treadmill just because to change it up. It,
Mhm.
all you need is that, because resistance training is just you against gravity, right?
Right.
That's it. You
Yeah.
don't need uh weird special moves to get the job done, because your body is built the same like everybody else. You do the same chest press as uh Ronald over there, you're going to get the
Mhm.
same results as Ronald, not as fast probably, but again, you're going to get the same results. You're going to sit on a treadmill or a bike and walk for a certain period of time. You'll get your results. Depends on how you tackle that equipment. That's why when I told you about the first warm up, I
Mm.
wanted to make sure you tracked how far you were going that first 5 minutes or so, just to
Right.
see where your rate would be in terms of
Mhm.
working out in total. Because again,
Right.
some people can sit on a bike and they'll be there for half an hour and really not go anywhere. Whereas whereas somebody can be on the bike for 5 to 10 minutes and they'd be going to town
And make it
and they
worth it. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and that's where you gauge yourself. How you use the machine is how you get the results you want, right?
Right.
And that's why a lot of people are really stagnant with their progress, because they don't realize that their body is changing every day they work out.
Mhm.
So, when you work out and you're doing, say for instance, I'll pick up one of your workouts that you did. You did a leg press,
Mhm.
and your weights there were 50 pounds.
Right.
Now your body does it. You did 12 reps and you've done it, and you did it 3 times. Okay. Now
Mhm.
the next time you go to that same workout, you've already mastered the whole 50 pounds. How about 52 pounds, right? And you progress. Again, the
Let's be clear,
smallest
I'm doing
progression.
185. Let's be
No,
clear, I'm doing
I
185.
understand. I'm just using a round number. Just using a round number. But yes, okay. The 185. Now you go off to 190, right? And then you might not make the 12 reps. That's fine.
Right.
That's progress on its own from going up from
Mhm.
185 to 190. So
Oh,
that's
yeah, for sure.
progress. And it's always about building that progress up to the point where you
And
feel comfortable.
I'll tell you, during the pandemic, when so many things, I mean, they'd closed everything, and then they'd open them, and then
Mhm,
they'd close them back down again, and it was like, I it was tough, but it
mhm.
also taught me a lesson that you can get in the gym, you can work, work, work to a certain point, and even if you're gone for a couple months, you still it's not you might not be exactly at where you were when you left,
Right.
but you're still stronger than you were altogether when you started initially. So
Exactly.
you don't lose all those gains over,
No.
but I had to learn patience because it's yeah, they'd close it down. Oh, we're opening up. Okay, here we go again. And then they're closing it down. So
Mm,
finally, it was really it was a good education, if nothing else, in the power of accumulated gains and
right.
just that it's not going to instantaneously you're not going to suddenly just everything's going to evaporate. You
Right.
do hang on to that.
Exactly. And on the flip side, when it comes to losing weight, you're not going to lose weight right off the hop.
No.
You're not. And a lot of people think that, because that's why they do these fad diets. Yes, you'll lose 5 pounds in 2 to 3 days. Yeah, but people don't realize that's water weight.
Mhm.
That's happens. And then you're losing a pound a week for about the next 4 weeks. Okay, that's great, right?
Mhm.
Now your body realizes this and will continue this if you continue that same schedule of working out and eating. Um,
Right.
but again, it's all about consistency. So some days you'll lose 2 pounds in a week. Some weeks you'll lose half a pound. Again,
Mhm.
it's science. We can't predict uh, how much we're going to lose or how much muscle we're going to gain. Your job is just to show up every single time. That's
Well,
it.
and also I don't like the idea of being too obsessed. Like I know I have to lose a significant amount of weight. I mean, I am 5'10" and a half. I am 262 pounds. I definitely need to lose weight for my joints, for my heart health, for, a variety of reasons. But I don't want to get so stuck. And I think a lot of people do get stuck on a number. It's like, oh, well, unless I'm at that number, it's like for me, it's more about how I feel, how I fit in my clothes, like my endurance for doing things like climbing stairs or going for a long walk or whatever.
Mhm.
Like to me, that getting stronger is the goal. That's
Right.
what I want. And I think that's what's frustrating because at this age with menopause and like I don't know where I'm at in that. It feels like it's been going on for a century. But that's what gets much tougher. Like if I had tried this when I was 25, I'm sure I'd be back to the weight I wanted and strong as that already. But here it's like, oh my God, if my metabolism used to be Usain Bolt, it is currently, well, it's on its knees and it's crawling uphill. It's pretty much it's as slow as it can get. And I tell my boys, I mean, the twins are 20, Spencer's 25. I'm like, you guys, now is the time. Do not wait until you've gained weight and you're out of shape and blah, 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 and then try to drag it back.
Yeah.
Do it now and keep it. Keep
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I'm turning 45 in about 6 days, and I have not been as consistent for working out, and it's a bit embarrassing, but at the same time, I know when you get to a certain age, it's not as easy to get yourself going and
well, it isn't,
maintaining.
and you also have family responsibilities. I mean,
Right.
that's the key.
Yeah.
Honestly, when my boys were small, oh, I remember trying to do yoga, and I had like Cooper was underneath me going hi, and Finn was beside me whispering my ear, and Spencer's in the kitchen going, "Mom, can you help me?" And I thought, yeah, I could do maybe 3 minutes of yoga, and that was it. So no, you've got that responsibility. So
Yeah.
that's not easy at all. I
It's
don't.
not. Now, the only trick for me now is to incorporate the fitness with that responsibility. So I have tried, well, I actually did. I went and got two yoga mats for one for myself and one for my daughter. So
So
we're
cute.
going to do group yoga together
Woo!
when we get a chance. Now, she might not be great at it. I know I'm not great at it, but again, to show the interest in it is what the
Right.
benefit. So we
Right.
both get something out of it. So I
Exactly.
know I said, you know what, I'm going to start working out again in the car with her. She says, "Oh, we need to do yoga again, Dad." Like, yeah, we haven't done yoga in forever. I said, "You're right. Let's do it." So again, now I've got that. I've planted that seed in their head. Hey, yoga,
Mhm,
it's fun. It's
mhm,
great health and so forth. And she's been watching a lot of videos and things about stretching and exercise and so forth. So that's what I need to keep going. So when it
mhm,
comes time for me working out, she knows that I'm working out. Maybe
mhm.
she'll join me or maybe she'll watch. I remember the one time I was working out and she was just bored watching a show on her tablet and I was working out in front of her and she goes, "Hey, Daddy, good job. Would you like some water? Here's a towel." So she was my cheerleader in that whole process. And I'm like,
You
man,
can you have
this
a
feels
girl.
great.
You have a girl. I had 3 but boys are like, "Whatever. Can you get me water?" Yeah. Mhm. Okay.
But yeah, incorporating fitness with your daily
Right.
chores, daily activities, daily responsibilities is definitely a bonus for you
Mhm.
because it isn't easy uh,
Yeah.
maintaining a toddler, maintaining even a teenager at some point, and trying to keep yourself going. But again, it is your goal
Right.
and it's your responsibility to hit that goal. Now,
Mhm.
going back on the numbers, I understand you're not big on the numbers per se, and I respect that. At the same time, I know you need small goals to get
Right.
where you need to go. So yeah, you may not think you're going to hit, 150 pounds again, but if you hit a goal of 250, that's an accomplishment. So again, you need to set up small finish lines for yourself to keep you motivated. Because a
Right.
lot of people will start and say, "Yeah, I'm going to work out," and 2, 3 months later, they're still the same weight. I'm like, nothing's pushing them to get to that
Mhm.
next level, right?
Mhm.
And that's why numbers really, really are important for small accomplishments. That's why I say measure yourself from head to toe, weigh yourself so you know where your starting point is. You know where
Right.
you're starting, then you know where you need to go. And if you need to
Yeah.
go five pounds in the month, fine, because there's no race. It's
No.
you against the weights, you against the treadmill or the bike or whatever. It's
Mhm.
you against that. No one else matters.
Right.
So you're doing it for yourself. Well, again, you could be doing it for your family, depending on how your family dynamics are, but you're doing it for you. No need to worry about what other people are saying.
No, exactly. But I think it is good to keep in mind that the fact is you have, like, I have 3 kids and they're grown, well, semi-grown now, but um the idea is that, like, for example, Finn, he came to me a couple years ago and he was just like very concerned about their dad and I are separate or divorced, but he's really worried about his dad because his dad has put on quite a bit of weight. And I know that stresses him out because he's worried about his dad's health. He's worried that his dad is like potentially shortening his life because
Mhm.
of what he's doing. And he was very excited. My son was very excited when I started working out because he said, "Oh, mom, that's so good. That makes me feel so much less anxious because I know you're making that effort." And a couple days ago, he goes, "Mom," and he's 20, but he's like me. He cries.
Mhm.
He's like, "I'm so proud of you," and he gets all teared up, and I'm like, "Really?" And he goes, "Well, like, you work out and you've been trying so hard and you've been going for years, and I just think that's so amazing. I wish Dad would do the same." And I'm like, wow, I don't think that I really registered how much it meant to him, how much it impacted him. But it is. I mean, your kids watch everything you do, no matter they
One
do. They're sitting
100%.
right there. So if you're sitting there filling your face with chips and Coke and,
Yeah, yeah. Now I know you said it kind of shocked you. How did it feel? How did it actually make you feel when you saw him so emotional about you and your fitness? Did it shock
oh,
you? Did it bother you? Did it motivate you?
oh no, I mean, yeah, I felt bad because I don't want to see my kids get upset, but I was surprised at how much it meant to him and how happy he was that I was doing this. He says, "You go all the time, like every week you're going there, Saturday, Sunday, you get up and you go." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? The thing I would love the most is if they would come with me." And I have dragged him a couple times,
Mhm.
but he is built like I was, but he's my height, a little bit taller, and he's built like this. I call him tapeworm because he eats everything and nothing sticks. And that used to be me too. Eat whatever I want. It does not set you up well for when your metabolism decides to fall over. But yeah, so I would drag him with me, but he would get worn out pretty quick. And I'm like, "Man, you use it or you lose it. You've got an opportunity now. You're slim as that. You don't have an extra 100 and some pounds weighing you down when you're trying to do squats, when you're trying to do any kind of exercise. You don't have that boat anchor tied to you. You can just go ahead and work out and you're going to see those results a lot faster." Like, I want to see results, but I've got a layer of fat over everything. So it's like I need to get rid of that for many
Sure.
reasons, but I also want to see what I've done. I want to see the muscles I've built.
For sure, for sure. And
Mm.
again, a lot of people don't see it right away, but you feel it. I mean, like you said
Yeah.
yourself,
Oh, for sure
you
you do.
felt strong. You
Yeah.
felt super strong when you started doing it
Yeah.
a few years back and so forth.
Mhm.
And like I'm
Yeah.
the same way. When I go back to lifting weights within a matter of a day or two, just because I've done it so much, my
Yeah.
body just gets all tense again. I'm like, yeah, I love that feeling,
Yeah.
and I want it again. So again, that brings you back. That
Yeah.
brings you back. So yes, the feeling of your body changing definitely keeps you motivated and keeps you going. In my case, and mostly the other people's case as well. So that's something to definitely strive for when it comes to working out, is that your body's changing no matter how it
Well,
is.
changing, and I want to be able to maintain this because what is it, like 3 years ago, I think? 3 years. It was during the pandemic. My mom fell. My mom is now 88, and she fell at 85. I think it was around that, and she broke her arm right
Mm,
underneath the shoulder.
mhm.
And she came and stayed with me, and I watched her, and like just to move up in the bed, like use her arms and push herself up in the bed, and I'm like, what the heck? She's so weak. And this is a woman who used to downhill ski, used to do gymnastics, used to play all kinds of sports. And I'm looking at her going, what the heck? Like, I don't want to ever be that vulnerable. I don't want to ever be that weak. I want to be able to take care of myself, because at this point, I'm single. Now, that may change or it may not. But the fact is, if it does not, I want to be strong enough to take care of myself, because those boys aren't going to be living here with me forever.
I
So
totally agree.
lifelong strength and independence is my goal. I want to be strong. So
Longevity. You want that
yeah,
longevity.
yeah, totally,
Definitely,
totally.
definitely. And that's I think I noticed that when my father had a stroke, and he's now using a cane. However, he was my superhero. I pretty much am identical to my dad. I look exactly like him.
Aw,
So
that's
when I saw him deteriorate because of medical situations, I mean, he now has type 2 diabetes and so forth, just because of the way he was eating and not really pushing himself. And I'm
mm,
like, I can't put myself in that spot. Yes, your boys are grown. I mean, I have 3 younger brothers. I'm the oldest, so your boys are grown. And then I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I can't do that,
no,
right? I don't want to do that for my daughter because again,
no.
she probably thinks I'm her superhero, right? Lift
Mhm,
everything, throw everything, all that stuff. I
yeah,
need to make sure longevity wise, I'm there for her and
mhm,
I can actually maintain myself as
right,
well as maintain her, whether she's 3, 5, 10, 20. As long as I know that I can do the things that I can at that certain age, then
right.
I'll be good for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
that's exactly
It's
right.
it's 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 a it's a very interesting juggling act when it comes to mental health and fitness and so forth. Because
Yeah,
there's times where, again, we'll say seasonal, the season changes and it's the winter.
yeah.
How does the winter affect you when it comes to working out?
Oh, well, it makes me even more vigilant. I mean, I go all the time anyway, but I
Mhm,
go 4
mhm,
times a week anyway, but, um, it makes me like, I guess I'm not a great example of someone who may miss the gym, because I don't miss the gym. If I as long as I'm able to, if I'm upright, and well, even if I'm not upright, I'll go. But
mhm.
it does give me pause sometimes when it's really dark and it's really cold. You just sort of maybe a little bit slower to get up and get out of bed. I always go though. But yeah, I can see a lot of people would be like, "Oh, screw this. I'm not
Yeah,
going. Like
I'm
it's
I'm
40 below out there. I'm not doing it."
I'm one of those ones who say, you know what, it's minus 40 right now, and I think I'll pass. And again, it's not the greatest mindset, but I'm like, man,
Guilt is
you,
a great driver for me. It's a but it's like, "Oh, if I don't go, oh, then I won't." And OCD as well.
mm,
Like it's like, well, I have to get my workout in,
this is
but
true. This is
because
true.
in my regular routine when I'm going to work, it's the
Mhm.
workout, the work, and then I always feel very morally superior to everybody, because I'm like, "Oh, I already did my workout at 6 o'clock this morning." So,
and
you know,
and I was gonna say, you know what? There's a science again when it comes to working out. You're saying your best time to work out is the morning for you?
usually, yeah.
For me, it was usually in the evening. So I'd do a long shift at work and I'd come home and I'd start working out at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Yeah. I'd get my pre-workout in and start working out. And I'd go. Problem is that you don't come down after that pump
No,
for
right, yeah,
another
how do you
2
get to
hours or
sleep?
so. And this is why, and this is why I'm like, oh, I need to change it so I just when I get up and start working
Yeah,
out in the morning. So that's
yeah,
what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a new program for myself so I can, when I get up, jump on the bike, jump into the workout, and then get it done. Not
yeah,
because I just want to get it done, but I know that this time frame is perfect for it because I
mhm,
don't need to be staying up at 11 o'clock working out and then going to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, only to get up for 6 o'clock to tend to my daughter or whatever, whatever, whatever.
right,
You
that's
need to
exact
balance properly. So, and at the same time, working out in the best time frame helps you balance your sleep,
Yeah.
right? Because again, that's another reason why I had problems sleeping because I'd be wired at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, well, I'm not coming down, so let's just watch TV until I pass out or do something. And
Mm,
I'm like, then it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I have to be up for 6. I can't do this.
no.
So, um, I guess you, like you said, you're a morning person when it comes to working out.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for sure. For sure. I'm a morning person generally.
right now, have
So
you ever tried working out in the evening?
yeah, you know what? I used to work out every time I'd work out, I would work out during the weekdays. I
Mhm.
wouldn't go on the weekends. I'd go on the weekdays and I'd go right after I finished work at 4:30. And as soon it was okay, but the gym was packed. I mean, everyone and their dog was there, so
Mhm.
you had to wait for machines.
Right,
And honestly, mentally, to wait all day long, I was like, oh, I gotta work out. Oh, I gotta work out.
right.
So I was not too jazzed with that. So when I finally went, you could probably go in the morning, see if you could fit that in. And I went in the morning and it was like, oh, there's nobody here. I can get any machine I want and I feel all revved up for the day. So, and I don't have to dread anything. And now it's not dreading. It's just like I said to you yesterday when I went later in the day. Oh my God. I
Mhm.
had no gas. There was nothing left really at that point of the day. I did my leg press. I do my leg press regularly. And I'll tell you, the leg press, I was like, every single rep was really a lot harder than it normally is. And I thought, this is the difference. This is the
Mhm.
difference, first of all, between the morning and the evening. And second of all, between I hadn't eaten since like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And here it was like 6:30. And I thought, oh, that was not a good plan at all. You
There
can't
you
be
go.
going to work with nothing in or going to work out with nothing in the tank. So
That's right.
yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right. Again, timing is everything. You got to
It is.
plan everything properly for you for your best results. If you're a morning person, sure, start your workouts in the morning, get it
Mm,
done, and then off in the day. Or if you know you're a more of a night person, by all means, switch it up. Get there between 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Do that thing and go
yeah,
off. And again, what also bothered me is I did a lot of shift work, so that also threw off my workouts
yeah,
because I would do a whole 16-hour shift and then come home and try to work out, and I'm like, I'm spent. I
yeah.
am spent. Takes a lot out of you to try to maintain that workout routine with a lot of different shifts.
16 hours. Shit, that is a long
It's a
shift.
long day. It's a long day.
Wow.
But again, I did maintain it. And then on my days off, I had to go help train people as well. So the motivation was me helping people, and for me to actually look decent while helping people was a bonus for me.
Mhm.
So that's why I kept on doing it. But again, a la the pandemic changed a lot of things
Oh, for sure.
and made me look at things a bit differently. Of course, life happens and things change, and the world is definitely different than it was before. So you
Mhm.
have to kind of attack these challenges a bit differently. So that's why I'm now revamping how I work out and how I do things, so I can get the best results for myself
Mhm.
and for my mental health. Because again, that is key. Like I stated before, a lot of people don't just go to the gym for the great body, the strength. A lot of it is mental health. I've talked to a few people who uh, eh, just are having some issues, and they
Mhm.
say, you know what, I need to just go to the gym,
Yep.
whether I'm punching a punching bag or riding a bike
Yeah.
or lifting weights for 20 to 30 minutes. That is an escape from for me,
Oh,
and that's good.
definitely.
And I said, kudos to you. I mean, good
Yeah.
for you that you noticed this and that you recognize that this is helping you, and it's helping you twofold. Again, the mental health is there, and it's
Mm.
helping you rejuvenate your body, right?
Oh,
So
for sure. For
keep on
sure. I
going.
mean, as an overthinker, and I'm an overthinker thinker from back since day one, I think. That is the only time that my brain turns off. It just literally turns off. All I do is exist in that space to count how many reps and sets, and that's it. That's all I do. And it's all it's that meme that says, feeling sad, go to the gym. Feeling, worn down, go to the gym. Feeling whatever, go to the gym. Yes. That's what I always think. It's like, especially for me, feeling sad, go to the gym.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
I definitely
that's
agree, definitely
for a
agree.
lot of things. Yeah, really.
When you were, I guess, in that phase of some great workout routine and regimen and so forth, who did you follow, or was there anybody you followed to help you on your journey?
That's probably my problem. I didn't really follow anyone. I mean, I wish I would certainly check out various people on social media, but I didn't really find anyone that I'm sure there's way more now, but
Mhm.
I didn't think of any that I could find anyone that would go as slow as I did, because honestly, I know myself best. And I've never been a person for exercising. I've never been a person for like running or any kind of stress like that. So it's like, I thought, if this is going to work, if this is going to last, I'm going to have to do this the way that I think is going to work for me. So for me to go for this massive workout or say an exercise class and just be dying at the end of it, I'll never go back. So I thought, okay, fine. You go as slow as you want. So go as slow as you want. I don't care what you do. Just keep going.
Good,
And I've gone from, say, for example, leg press, 40, 50 pounds, 185.
good.
And I was above that during some parts of the pandemic, but then it sort of
Right.
went away.
Yeah,
But the proof's in the pudding, right? I've
of
worked
course.
my way down the stacks of weights, and I know that I am significantly stronger than I was. And yes, it did take a long time. I'm sure people look at me and go, "You've been working out for 7 years, really? You don't look it." But I also would challenge them to see how strong I am in my, well, not my arms right now, but my legs for sure. Like,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
it's there. But that's the thing. I didn't follow anyone. I saw some people, but nobody was doing it exactly like I was doing it. They were doing aerobics classes, or they were doing, and I'm like, I can't do aerobics class. I'm not doing that right now. And so no, but that's why I'm coming to you now, because it's like I never really had a plan. It was just like
Right.
me sort of going, well, I guess I could try this. And if it's worked, it's worked. And if it hasn't, well, now I get to figure out what's going to work best
And
and
that's what
how to
I'm here
make
to help
this
you with for sure.
count. Yes, exactly. How to make it count, because
Exactly.
I'm
You
not
don't want to just
even,
do things and kind of you're just
I'm not big
spinning
for,
your wheels and not going
yeah,
anywhere,
yeah,
right? That's the
exactly. Yeah.
thing. When you come to someone for guidance, you want to make sure that they help you guide you to the direction you want to go.
And
And
I
that's
can
my
tell
goal.
you that maybe not now, your daughter isn't critical of you now, but I can guarantee you when she gets to be a teenager and
Mhm.
she gets to be like Cooper, my Finn's twin, and he'll come home to visit. Well, now he'll come home to visit and he'll like, "Are you still working out? I don't see any I don't see any difference." And I'd be like,
Oh,
"Thanks.
oh.
Thanks, man." Finn's like, "Oh, Cooper, shut up." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'll make a muscle for him. And he's like, "Oh, okay, not bad." I'm like, "Yes, I know you can't see it. You cannot see it, but I guarantee you, I could snap you
Yeah.
like a twig between my thighs. I could crack a watermelon." So just easy. But the fact is, yeah, I mean, I go slow, but I keep going.
The thing is, it will. Well, again, my goal, anyways, when working with you, is that you will start slow, and then for some reason, it'll ramp up to a point where, like, you're not only going slow, but you're getting stronger, like heavier. Like slow is
Oh yeah.
nothing. You don't need
Oh yeah.
the speed. Is when you start pumping 240 pounds on that leg press, not
Mhm.
realizing, yeah, okay, so I go out and work out this, that, and the other as slow as I can. Sure. What? You watch. I'll bench press you if I need to. Right? That's the type of vibe I want. I might be going 2 to 3 times a week. Sure. But not 2 to 3 times a week. I'm lifting up heavy weight. So
Heavy
that's,
weights. Oh
again,
yeah.
you do your thing and do it at
Yeah.
the pace that you like, the pace that you want, as long as you keep on going. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
To me, that was like the crucial thing. As long as I keep going and I don't kid myself, like I keep going, yes, but not just keep going to sit on an exercise bike, put it at level 2, and then just go for an hour. I mean, no, keep going and keep working it,
Exactly.
working.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
not
Because
there
again,
for the. looks.
we can have. I think I watched the documentary on twins eating. It was on Netflix. I forgot what. I think you are what you eat. I think it's something like that. But
Oh,
anyways, they had a vegan diet for a twin and a omnivore diet for a twin, and they wanted to see how they would work because they're identical twins. They share the same DNA. They want to see how the diet changed the body
and
composition.
you watched it, yeah,
I did watch it,
and
and for the most part, the person or the twin that was actually on the vegan diet did better in terms of losing the visceral fat, all that stuff around your intestines. They did very, very well.
oh,
Yes. Now, however, though, yeah,
yeah,
however, the ones who were eating the protein
right.
gained muscle better. So the meat eaters were getting a lot of muscle and they were maintaining that size. They weren't losing the fat as much as the others, but they were gaining the size. So I was like, okay. But then I was looking at the footage, and one twin out of two wasn't really in love with the workouts,
Mhm.
right? So that kind of will alter your results.
Oh,
If you're not
totally.
really in love with your workouts and you're supposed to, then of course your results are going to be different, right? So you
That's
got to
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
you got to enjoy the workouts. Don't just half-ass it, because if you half-ass it, you're only fooling yourself, right?
Ye True,
Yeah, you're only
true.
fooling yourself. So might as well, if you're there, put in that 100% and then get out of there. Even if it's for 20 minutes, give 20 minutes of 100% and then get out of there. Just know that the 100% to yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself, do it, then get out of there. Right?
Right.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Mm. We haven't
And
talked very much about hormones at all, and that's been my real curiosity for me
yeah,
because
let me
people
know.
you talk about cortisol,
hmm
and I
hmm
don't know what exactly, if the levels go down as you age or they go up. I'm not sure what it happens, but something with cortisol is not good. And I think that makes it harder for women, I think,
I
to
do believe
lose.
so. I mean, I can definitely look that up real quick for you. But again, I was going to ask you in terms of hormones. Does because I know the hormones is really just connected with your moods. And that's
Yeah.
why I was asking you what type of moods, uh, kind of that you have some from time to time that could probably affect you from working out. That's what I was asking in terms of
Oh, right.
your
Yeah.
motivation.
Well, I think having been like I was diagnosed clinically depressed many, many years ago, when Spencer was born. So 25, 26 years ago.
Mm,
And I've been on medication and antidepressants for that since then. And it's pretty well, I mean, it's antidepressants aren't a miracle cure. Like you still have ups and downs and you still struggle at times. But
of course,
the one thing I do know is if I am struggling with my mood, I always know that no matter what, if I can just get to the gym and work out, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel that whatever is, I don't know, I'm sure a runner's high is different because runners run for a long time, but
right, right,
um you do feel a lot better, like a lot less, you're out of your head, those horrible invasive thoughts are not there. So yeah, it was, to me, it's always a relief to go to the gym, especially if I'm struggling mentally with my depression. I That's what does it for me. There's no pill that can do that for me.
no, no, and that's the thing. I don't think no pill can do it for anybody. I think
No.
people are really kind of kidding themselves when they think they're gonna take this med or take that thing to help them with whatever's going in their head. That's
That's why the
far
body's
fetched
a
for me.
miracle, right? When it's
Yeah.
working right, the body is a complete miracle, and we can't, I mean, it's
Well, the
hard
body
to
can heal
recreate.
itself. That's the
Mhm.
thing. It is
Exactly.
created for it to heal itself.
Mhm.
I mean, I get it. Modern medicine is great for a lot of things, but the everyday thing, honestly, you can do it on your own. Take a
Mhm.
breath. Stress is, I mean, we were talking cortisol. I looked it up, and cortisol is this, as they call the stress hormone. So
Oh,
that would
okay.
definitely that'll affect your sleep deprivation, symptoms and impacts in terms of weight gain, cravings for food, lack of sleep, low energy, mood swings, and all that stuff. And again, for most women, that's that's already going with menopause. It's already going. So imagine that. bring everything down.
Yeah.
So eh, the key thing is to keep that cortisol level up, so you don't have to, so you don't have it clashing with your menopause state, and
So so how do you go about keeping your cortisol level up? I mean, that's the question.
I guess
I
you
put you
just
on
have
the
to keep,
spot
you
here.
just have to, you just have to keep an overall health, overall good health. So again, the workouts, sleeping right, everything will keep that up, which won't clash with your menopause, right?
Mhm.
So cortisone is always going up, always going down. Menopause is always going to be there. Well, not always going to be there, but it's going to be there at a certain time.
It just feels like that. Um, I did an article about I wrote an article for the CBC about menopause and how little is known, because honestly, very little is known about it. Women might talk about hot flashes, but
Hmm.
beyond that, I mean, hormone therapy, that's supposed to help, right? Hormone therapy. Well, not too many years ago, the World Health Organization classified it as a carcinogen,
Ooh,
hormone therapy, hormone replacement therapy for women going through menopause. It's like,
poison,
I'm not kidding. It's crazy. Like I
crazy.
grew up, my mom took hormone replacement therapy my whole life because she had a hysterectomy right after I was born in 1968. So she needed the hormone replacement. Well,
Hmm.
guess what? She ended up developing breast cancer when she was 65. So it's like, it's crazy,
Wow,
crazy,
that is
but
that is horrible.
that's still recommended. That's still recommended for women going through menopause. So there's been very, not anywhere near enough. I shouldn't say very little. I just nowhere near enough the kind of research that's needed to explain. They don't know why menopause starts. They don't know what. There's a lot that has not been researched, and I think it would be helpful if to half the planet's population, if they would do that.
Wow.
You
So really
know,
and truly, we haven't even scratched the
we have
surface
not.
of knowing about menopause. They just
We have not.
are assuming this and that, and that's
Yeah,
scary.
yeah,
That's scary. So
it
they're
is.
been testing to see if they can control this thing, and really and truly, it's making it worse. Putting poison in your system to
Well,
regulate something that you don't know anything about.
well,
That's like going to someone and say, "Hey, you want to lose weight? Here's this miracle drink. Drink it. It might work."
it might work, or it might cause you cancer. We don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's women out there who have had hormone replacement therapy and it's worked, and more power to them. But in my life's experience watching what my mom went through, I wouldn't say. So, yeah, no, it's just it's a big unknown, and I think a lot of that does tend to discourage women. Like, I can tell you, when you're working out and you're already sweating to death, and then all of a sudden you have a hot flash, oh, that's fun. Fun,
Mm.
fun, fun. But, I mean, it's been going on now, and it goes on for so long. Let's see. I mean, I've been since my late 40s, now I'm 55. So yeah, it goes on a long, long time.
Does it not stop?
Well, you'd think. I thought it did, and then in the past couple months, I started getting hot flashes again. So I'm just like, no, I don't know. It's a crapshoot. I don't know, and nobody can tell you. That's the thing. There's nothing definitive. Well, maybe, if you go
Mhm.
online and try and Google yourself some kind of answer, they don't know. So
They
hopefully
don't
somebody
know.
will research
Wow.
this more. Yeah, I
So
know,
so I
eh?
guess I guess we need to kind of, research this whole hormone thing and
We
menopause.
do.
I might have to go study it myself and figure out if I can find a cure. Then I'll get the Nobel Peace Prize or something, you
There
know?
you
Just
go.
just because of a podcast episode, I just decided to find a cure of menopause. That's possible. You never know.
You never know. You
Never
never
know.
know.
But hey, um, it's been a pleasure speaking with you for sure.
Mhm, for sure.
I hope again we will be on here again soon. We're gonna definitely have an update
Yep.
of you going through the motions, and hopefully we can get to that point where you're happy with the success
Yeah,
of you
for
and
sure.
your workouts
I
for
have no
sure.
doubt.
We're definitely going to revisit all this, and we're definitely gonna have you on here, even for other shows as well. I just love talking to you. It's just amazing how I have just met you, and we just have great conversations on a regular basis. It's cool.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the one thing I love about meeting people is that I'm so open to talking to anybody. We can talk. Look at in what I don't know, in a week or so, we started talking, and all of a sudden we've talked about fitness, jobs, resumes, you name it. We've been talking about. Now we're talking about menopause and women
Mhm.
on the podcast. That is cool stuff.
It
That is
is.
cool
It
stuff.
is cool stuff. That's why
I
you have
love
to
it.
be open to everything. That's
Yeah.
why that's that mindset that gets you through life and keeps you positive. I often say, you can meet someone who's 20 years old who has a negative mindset and they seem much older than they are, and then you can meet my mother who's 88 and the most positive person I've ever met, and she's just a force of nature. So yeah, you, you think I'm
Wonderful.
perky? Oh my God, Miss Peggy's got it nailed. So
Okay. Okay. Well, I
anyway.
would love to meet Miss Peggy. We'll see. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what we
Oh,
can do.
you're gonna have to brace yourself.
Fair enough. Fair
Okay.
enough. All right. Again, thank you again, Ms. Davies, for
Thank
joining me
you,
on the show.
Tunde.
We're definitely going to do it again, folks. It's been a pleasure. It's good to be back with the Unleashed podcast, and I'll definitely talk to you all soon. You guys have a great day. Peace and love.